very disappointing, to say the
Nope,
least.
nope, there it is. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
This is my first time getting to stream like this with OBS, and all the fun jazz and whatnot. So hopefully, hopefully, as I hit all these buttons, my shit doesn't crash, because that would be upsetting.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just checking to see how it comes through.
Yeah, I kind of need to know about the volumes, just a little bit at
Mm-hmm.
least. Oh, ah, ah,
Yeah, but
ah.
it's coming through fine.
That's good. So the music ain't loud or anything.
No, it's like just barely there.
Okay. So, for any of you wondering about the music, not that we have any viewers yet, but for anyone wondering about the music, on YouTube there's a channel called Unwind Station, and they have no copyright music. So this is no copyright, no, royalties free, all fun. They have all sorts of stuff that is just wonderful, and this is the fantasy medieval instrumental because, yeah, why not? But I think it works pretty nicely. It's a nice little
Mm-hmm.
scene setting. Anyways, I'm just happy I have my little avatar. But
Oh yeah.
anyways, I should probably switch tabs so I can see my shit. Um,
Probably.
you know what we haven't done yet? We haven't said hello properly, have we? Hello, my
No, we haven't.
wonderfuls. Welcome back for another Storytime Chit-Chat, and thanks for joining HippieGhost and I.
Hello. That's me.
So,
I'm HippieGhost.
So as you can see, I got my stuff set up a little better. So I got my Hello Wonderfuls up there, and I got my Patreon little explanation there, and my book cover. I drew that the other week. I was very happy with it. I think it's much better than the tree I had before. But
I really appreciate that you actually take the time to like draw your own book covers and you put a lot of work into them.
well, Dave, I don't have money, and that's why I need people to subscribe at Patreon. You know, you can pick whatever tier works for you. Lowest tier is $3, and it goes up to things that will never happen. But but either way, you get access to the original edition a week ahead of anywhere else, and the original edition is only on Patreon because I can't do all the fonts on the other platforms that I post on. But the Patreon users also get Patreon subscribers also get anytime Q&A, so they can just pop onto the Discord channel and be like, yo, and I give answers to whatever they ask, as long as it doesn't ruin any big plot twists or whatever. Anywho.
Mhm. And it's always fun watching you get flustered when someone just pops in with a random question.
um, but yeah, so the
I'm
best way
such
to
a good
support me
co-host,
is
aren't
through
I?
Patreon, or even the bottom of the little Twitch thingy that says tip here. You can click on Rune and give a tip, or you can go to my Coffee. I can't stop calling it Ko-Fi. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh, bye.
But
It's because I started and then you were all like,
yeah, either way. So, but and then the next best way to support me is becoming a subscriber on Tapas, because revenue possibilities there. And then Wattpad, it's free for you. It's another platform to
Mhm.
get me more views, and that's really what I'm trying to do, is get some more, you know. Anyways, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually like do all that promoing right out the gate like that, but who cares?
Whoa, look at us go, yeah.
Anywho, so let's move on to Storytime Chit-Chat.
All
Haha,
right.
new overlay.
Oh, look at that.
So with this, you'll
Oh,
see,
look, that's me.
and up there, yeah,
Hello.
and up that way, the way that my head's going, is it flips through between the explanation that you saw on the first one, and then also the thumbnails that I've made for every single chapter that I have published so far, except chapter 20 is missing from there because I haven't uploaded it yet, and I need to transfer a bunch of files and all this other blah 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 blah. You're not interested, but anyway. So,
I'm interested.
well, that's nice, Dave. But anyways, we have our hippie ghost friend over there.
Hello. That's
I,
me.
Why does my person look so drunk? Okay, you're just gonna have to ignore okay, anyway, not ignore. Enjoy the ridiculousness that is the eye capture and stuff like that. But I figured out you could actually kind of wiggle your eyebrows. It just doesn't work very good. It works
like, try to
better if
flutter
you do this. Wait, no, it's the angry one. Where's the angry one? There we go. I'm sorry. This
Bah.
bah. So this stream
There we
is going off the rails in so many
Apparently, yeah.
really...
We're just doing a great job of like actually talking about our stories
Okay.
here.
So then we can actually get started. And so tonight we're discussing chapter 17 and 18 of When Souls Awaken. You know, as I said, you can find it Patreon, Tapas, or Wattpad. Tapas and Wattpad are free. So in chapter 17, we have the appearing characters are Alora, Flora, Rune, and Axis. Isn't it so nice to have him back? I'm so happy that he's back. People don't like him at the start, but I mean, that's the whole entire point. He's not supposed to be very likable when he's, you know, burning people to death. But
to be fair, I mean, yeah, that's generally not a very good thing to be doing to people.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so the God Chat and God Chat. Holy shit, those bitches were actually quiet this chapter.
Yeah.
They're usually so chatty, but
They are.
actually...
They like to do the rumor mill and all that fun stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, apparently they're just so bored with their life that they just need to, like, I don't know.
Starbucks was closed that week.
You know, I bet you Larsolus spends all of his time at Starbucks. And
Probably.
I bet you he started writing there and he goes, God, I just can't get past this scene, and just demands all the attention.
Probably.
Anyways.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that running joke we had with the one God and Applebee's,
oh my
but I'm not
God,
gonna bring it out
yes, and
much.
that is that's in regards to Whispers, which is a story that I will be posting after When Souls Awaken is done. So
yes,
and then hopefully after
that
I'll be posting
too.
When Gods Slip, but that's still under construction, which is the sequel to this one. Anyway, so outline. So for this chapter, it starts out with the girls being lost in the woods, and Alora's still recovering from her fever because, you know, she just pushes herself way too far, and this is just going to be a common theme of hers pretty much for a while until, you know, something possibly tragic happens.
Dun dun dun!
I sense tragedy! But anyways, anywho, so as they stop for the night to, you know, rest and recover all that, Flora goes to get the wood, and then, you know, she hears, you know, what she thought Flora was, you know, returning. But the gasp! It's a familiar face, but it's not what she was expecting. It was Axis. I'm having too much fun with the stupid avatar.
I can tell you're a little distracted, yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying.
Hold on here. Let me do my shocked face for you.
Ah! But it was...
There we go.
Oh, wait. That's the wrong face. That's... Okay. I'm not doing shocked face again. Holy shit. So anyway, so of course, since it's Axis being Axis, of course he threatens her, but Alora is quick to defuse him because, you know, she's just a champ. She is just #1 mom friend. And, you know, and of course after that, Flora just pops up out of the shadows out of nowhere, like, what the heck, and he gets spooked. And, you know, Alora, is so task focused on what she's doing, she just, you know, she's just like, whatever, let those two talk, he's not going to kill us probably, and and she focuses on getting the food ready and whatnot. So you know, oh my god, I'm sorry, I hate verbal stutters, they drive me insane.
You're okay.
And then I do it once, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing it too many times, and then I do it a bunch more because it just can't stop.
Amanda!
And I'm off topic. Okay, so Flora wants that, about Alora inviting Axis, saying that he's weird, and then he's like, "You're weird," and mom friend Al is just like, "Children, please," and she scolds them both for being rude, because no one is safe from mom friend Al. Anyways, Alora then proceeds to insist on cooking for Axis so he doesn't burn his cooking stick. Not that he, asked for it, but she saw the fire and he was uncomfortable and he was worried. So she's just like, you know what? Let me do this. You're the guest. Let me take care of you. So he even had an excuse to not do it because, she's good at doing that. She is a caretaker. But who's going to take care of her? Sniffle, sniffle, crack, crack. But, so she continues to ignore the flames that flicker all over him because, she's not looking to trigger the 14. He's obviously traumatized. Obviously. Then comes up, one of my favorite parts of the early part of the story. I can't help my love for this scene. It's the staring contest between Rune and Axis. And I just love it so much because it's such a simple and innocent moment. And I know I've said this before in streams about other simple, innocent moments.
You seem to like those.
I do. For all the tragedy, I really like innocent moments in the middle of tragedies,
Yeah.
But, so it's an innocent moment, and it continues with Axis asking Rune what he is. And when Rune answered Axis, even though Axis didn't understand, but, you can know that Axis felt like a Disney princess in that moment. Not that he knew what that was, but he definitely felt like he was one with the world. He was feeling on top of his game. He was feeling like when that dog at the party decides to sit next to you instead of the people he usually loves to sit next to. It's like, I've been chosen. That's the feeling that he got for when, Rune answered his question.
That's fair. Now just kind of on a little tangent here, but just now I'm imagining all of the when Souls Awaken characters as Disney princesses. And I feel like Lars Olus would absolutely love to be like Cinderella or something.
Yeah, he'd have to be one of the big named ones, one of the biggest named ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He ain't gonna be there for, yeah, but anyways. So after this wholesome little moment, Alora answers and, she actually answers the question of what Rune is. And, he's a sloth. We know that for a while now. And Flora is wanting Alora's attention back because, now Axis has it. Flora's a little jealous because she got a little crush.
Rip.
And so she complains about being tired to try and get Alora's attention. Unfortunately for Flora, Alora is a problem solver. So she just says, well, then why don't you go to sleep? So, rip Flora getting any special attention, and I can assure you this is not the only time that Flora's growing jealousy will backfire.
Oof.
Yeah. That's
Big
coming up
oof.
in the... I want to say the chapter will be posted on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anywho, after Flora's tucked away... We're not doing that. After Flora's tucked away for the night, she focuses on treating Axis and realizes obvious gods are obvious, and she's like, Kuro is Santa Kuro, because she realizes this because the jar of healing ointment she gives always works, and no matter how much she uses, it's like full the next time she opens it. So
I just love how it takes that long for her to realize it.
Look, she's got a lot of shit going on, and hopefully she hasn't gotten injured that often between now and
I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. But, yeah, so... But she shakes off her irritation at not realizing this sooner because Axis injury is much more pressing as far as she's concerned. So she starts with that, and of course Axis is jumpy about her touching him. Remember, this is his first positive contact with another person in about 5 months. so it's understandable. But Alora doesn't
Mm.
give a fuck. I mean, she does, but priorities. And she just treats him. She just goes through with treating him. However, with the amount of oh my god, what was I trying to say? The amount of
With
him
the amount of
giving her
reference.
that's not what I'm trying to say.
Then why is it written?
Because I mistyped, David. With the amount of
Fun fact: authors make boo-boos with words. There.
Can you try that again, David?
That is just what we're going with.
Uh-huh.
I have made my decision.
Yes, you have. You know what? Everyone can just have a cert for that.
Oh, do your little, do your special little.
Which little? This is all. I just do chat. See? Oh. Either way.
I thought you had your little attack.
Oh yeah, that's if someone follows me, then it attacks. But it has to. Something has to happen. Like someone
Gotcha.
following, someone tipping, someone doing that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you emote, they'll pop up in the stream and float up and whatnot. So anyways. Resistance, that's what I was trying to say.
That makes more sense.
However, with the amount of resistance that he's giving her, he triggers another challenge from her. And it reminds him of the regret he felt for pushing her away last time, and he just gives in. Because, she's like, what are you going to do? Push me away and run again? And, he's just like, no. Please no. It was so bad without you. Baby, don't go. You can blame it all on Larsolus. Just pretend
That's
I didn't
fair.
fuck that up that badly. Anyways, so now.
Yeah, that was something.
Anyways. I say anyways way too much. So now that Axis has had the chance to threaten, insult, brood, and be difficult in this chapter, it wraps up with Alora realizing that there's not enough wood gathered for the night. And Axis is just sitting there like, man, this girl looks like shit. And because he's not a lost cause, and he still has some decency left in him, in his being, he stops Alora from leaving to get more wood, and he simply uses his magic to keep her warm. That's not the only magic starting to warm up. Heyo! But and as a final positive note, Alora finally addresses that he is a mage in a direct manner. And he cuts her off, going, yeah, I'm a demon, basically. He starts to call himself a demon. She flicks him in the forehead because obviously going to talk to him is not going to work, so she's got to flick him because, I don't know, why not?
Some problems you just need to solve with physical violence.
Exactly, and Alora firmly believes that. And you'll see more of how she believes that later on. So, anyways, she's like, you're not a demon, you're just a boy. And of course he's insulted. Of course he's like, boy, I'm older than you! Rawr! With all the fire. But, except he didn't use any fire. He just kind of barked at her. Because he's a good little dog.
Woof.
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 Anyways, so that's all of chapter 17.
Yeah.
And, I'm gonna hop into chapter 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I forgot to put down the titles, and
Not again!
not again! So chapter 17 was Defining a Demon, and chapter 18 is Flickering Emotions. So in Flickering Emotions, we see Axis, Alora, Flora, and Rune, because those are our main characters. They are our key players throughout the story, and we will see the other characters we've met before back and around coming up, maybe, hopefully they don't show up for tragic reasons, but we'll see. Anyway,
We shall
so
see.
in the god chat we actually have one god. We have our lovely Viserys. So chapter 18 starts with Flora. Flora, it starts with her first ever mage to mage conversation, and even then she's a little shit about it when she finds a bit of confidence. So it's like, she's real timid at first when she goes into talking to Axis, because, it's the first time she's gotten to talk to another mage without fear. Except she's still afraid because, past experiences, blah, 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 blah. But, so she's finally getting this, and then there's that line that I love, well, you're light and I'm dark. Also, I like talking and you're a mute. I'm a girl, you're a boy, I'm cute, you're weird. But, so, of course, she's got to be a little shit about it.
Yeah.
And with no doubt, this conversation leads Axis to wonder about Alora. But Flora is quick to answer and reveals, and, is like, nah, she's got nothing. And after that, that's when Alora joins in, and she joins in just as Axis reveals that Larsolus is the one that made him a phoenix. And Alora is instantly flustered by the memory of the god touching her and, trying to open up that soul door of hers. Not that but she didn't know that's what he was trying to do. So.
Yeah, she just thought he was being a perv.
And Axis goes straight into angry guard dog mode for her. This instant aggressive protectiveness he shows is why Alora has a small moment of honest vulnerability where she tells him what happened. And in true Alora fashion, right afterwards, she quickly changes the topic so nothing else can be pressed about it. She just changes the subject and moves on after saying, her little bit about what Larsolus did. She actually displays it on Axis, and Axis is like, holy shit, she's touching me. And, so read it if you wanted more details, because it's actually kind of fun. If you ask me, at least. And, they're really lining up to be quite, the couple. Anyways. So, right. Axis then takes the wild leap and asks to join them in their travels, because they're about to get ready to pack up for the day, all that. And Alora decided, this is a really important, decision, and it should be left up to the highest authority. So of course she asked her sloth.
Fair enough.
And Runa's all like, yes, excellent idea, old chap. But, in sloth speak, and not with an accent that I'm aware of.
I really want to put myself in Axis's shoes here for a second. Like, I'm just like, I meet these two wonderful people, these two girls that need an extra person around, but also I need an extra person around, and I'm like, you know what? Let me try to join you guys. Let's all work together. And the leader of them goes, okay, hold on a second, and then turns to her sloth and says, what do you think, sloth? Do you think he is worthy? And, I feel like I would probably be questioning my choices. I feel like I would probably have some concerns about this group that I am suddenly joining.
Oh, yeah, he has plenty of concerns, let me tell you. But they're not trying to stab him.
To be fair. Yeah, well, at least they're not trying to stab him. That's an important thing.
Anyway, so they set off together, and Axis finds a comm he didn't think he could keep. And they stop for a meal, and that is the moment, the first time Alora will ever break his trust.
Uh-oh.
Gasp. There we go. Gasp.
There you go.
Yeah, just trying. Sorry, guys, I don't have the numbers memorized. I'm trying to make this more entertaining for people. But hey, I do what I can. Anyways, Alora is praising Flora's cooking, but Axis only smells something like bitter, burnt, and maybe even metallic at this point. But the teen is like, Alora's been trustworthy mom friend so far. Oh boy, rip his fucking taste buds and rip them right out, because Flora cannot cook to save her life. And, Axis is blunt with his brutal honesty. So Flora ends up crying and running away, of course. Because poor Flora. She just wants to cook. She just wants to, provide for her crush. But So Alora snaps at Axis
Bad.
for being so brutally honest, because let's face it, you can be honest without being brutal. And but it's just
Grr.
not in his it's just not in his nature.
Grr.
Can you stop gurring at me? You're distracting me.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you for. So Z said, "Look at the cute author bot," and I'm just. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. First of all, Z, you are a wonderful supporter, and I appreciate that. But we've already lost topic like so many times. You should have been here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Especially when we got off on tangents of, um, like, fucking with our hee aha, ho ho, oh no, ah. This one just looks kind of lewd, I think, if your eyes start to close. But, oh, I didn't mean to make it sad. Sorry, we got on another tangent. Okay, Alora is mad. And,
Yes, Alora's mad.
And
She is
Alora
big
goes,
mad.
So Alora goes after Flora, and Axis leaves in his own direction. And Rune is just like, why the fuck am I being left here unattended? I am Sloth. I am baby. A bitch better hold me. But, that's not resolved. And after that, we cut to Alora finding Flora. And she does a really good job at cheering, Flora up, because she is the best mom friend. And, but when the two of them, end up making it to the camp, when they end up getting to the camp, Alora goes into a full-on breakdown. Like, in the absence of Rune, she realizes the song isn't there. And this is where the only line of God chat is spoken, and Alora doesn't even and it turns out that sorry.
You got this.
Sorry.
I know you're distracted by the
My
chat.
notes were confusing me, but so Alora doesn't even notice when Axis does show up in her panic. She's just crying and screaming for her sloth, and poor Flora starts crying out of fear. And that's when Viserys says the beam is cracked more deeply than I thought. And a fun fact is chapter 23 is titled Fissures in the Beam. So I wonder what.
That's not foreboding at all.
I wonder what that will show. Haha. But it will be chapter 23 will be available on Patreon by the 12th of February and the 19th for Tapas and Wattpad. So you'll get to see whatever that is, because chapters 20 and 21 will be released at like the same time, or a day apart, because I don't want to do that to you guys with the way that chapter 20 ends. I think it's 20, right?
That's yeah.
21 and 22. I'm sorry. 20 is okay.
Yeah, 20 is okay, but 20 and 21.
Chapter 20 will drop on the 5th for free, while chapters 21 and 22 will drop on the 5th for free, and then the 12th will be 21 and 22 for free.
Yeah, yeet.
Sorry, I was like looking across the room to my board, but so
You did good today.
Axis is close enough to hear them and takes off without hesitation, like the good little guard dog he is. And
Woof.
when Alora notices that he had Rune, she falls from her panic, and Axis is just shook by the emptiness of her when she takes Rune back. And as you'd expect, Alora pushes things along. Like, once she has her sloth, she takes a deep breath, and that's it. She just keeps pushing forward. And the chapter ends with the reveal that Axis had left to find herbs and try and reconcile with the girls, and reconcile he did. He got to stick around. They didn't kick him out or anything like that.
I guess we're not going to kill you today.
Yeah.
I mean, that's generally how it works on the Crimson Tempest. It's more of like, if someone pisses off the crew, they just they have a little meeting, and they're like, okay, do we kill them? Do we just maim them a little bit? Do we keel haul him? Like, what are we doing here? And then Elra just goes, we don't have enough money for a funeral, so keep him the way he is.
um. So, just a FYI for viewers, is I do have an emoji chat, which apparently I set too low on the screen, so I will have to rectify that. When after all this stuff and things, but yeah.
Keel hauling is cheap and deadly. Thank you, Zing.
So, on to our Q&A. These, I have three questions today.
All right.
All submitted by patrons on Patreon, all people that have subscribed to me, and my founding supporters, who, I would definitely not be this far without my founding supporters. So, and I wouldn't be able to keep going without my supporters in general. So, like, share, follow, do.
All that fun stuff.
Anyways.
All right, shall I get us started then?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. So, question number 1, a simple one. Does Allura ever unstring her bow and store it in a case like other hunters?
So, this question was brought up by Izzy, and I really appreciate it. And I can't tell you how much this question actually annoyed me, because I've realized that I really didn't look into this for Allura. I've written another story where I actually watched like a bunch of videos and stuff on how to create primal bows from nothing other than, what you would find, because that character ends up trapped on an island with nothing but a knife, basically. And her dragon friend, of course, because I love dragons. But so I never even really thought about researching how to, care for bows and hunting with bows and stuff like that. So, it was really funny because, of course, Z knows a lot more about it than me, but he's the one that asked the question, and that's probably why he asked it. So, it was funny because he asked it in the Discord server, and instead of me asking him, about it there, I actually messaged him privately outside to get his expertise on it so I could make sure I answered it, because Allura didn't get trained in a formal sense of the word. She's learned through trial and error and, whatever. And, so, it's never really been, it's not gonna be, it's not mentioned in the story, like, maintenance and stuff like that, but, for speculative reasons and stuff, she probably does not have a case, but I'm sure she unstrings it when she's not using it. I'm sure she's learned to, manage that. Everything she knows, as I said, was self-taught, so I'm sure she learned to care for it to a certain extent, because she'd never really had as much, but so whatever her care is what you can expect from a 12-year-old who's a bit above average, who's been hunting for about a year, and was raised by Redacted, and had Redacted happen during her Redacted childhood.
You hate so much when I put redacted in character notes.
I do! Anyways, next question.
Alright. But before that, a little tangent here. One of my favorite little things when you first started writing, and I just want to share this with people, is that, when you first started writing, before, like, you learned how to do, like, detail and stuff, I would always ask questions of, like, what was this town like? Or what are the people in this town like? What's the culture like? And you used to hate it so much.
I still do. I still do not like it, but I appreciate the heck out of it. I will tell you that much. But
there we go. There's my joy face. Oh god, that's creepy.
Oh my god, do not close your eyes when you do the joy face.
Okay.
That's what when you close your eyes with the joy face, it sorry, where is it? There it is. It closes them still. So your eyelids just go over.
Amazing. Alright, next question.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Hit me.
When Axis wandered off with Rune, why did Allura lose her crap?
Okay, so
Why'd you freak out?
Rune is all that Allura had before Flora. And let's face it, he's adorable. I'd freak out too if he disappeared. Next question.
Fair enough. Alright. Where did Axis learn how to identify herbs? Where did he learn how to cook?
Both skills Axis learned from his mother. Cooking was a passion of hers, and that she passed on to Axis. And honestly, she's a little disappointed he's not using his fire powers for cooking yet.
That's
But
fair.
Z, that's so in the chat, Z said, "I hate when my players talk to and try to befriend NPC I wrote nothing for." So Z is a DM, and I'm going to be one of his players soon, and I'm going to have to say sorry because my character just wants to already befriend everything.
If it makes you feel any better, she does that to me all the time already anyway in our collabs. I'll just like have a little side character that I need for some dialogue, and then suddenly
What do you
I
mean
need this.
I do it? Remember
Okay,
that
I do it to
time
you too.
where we did a collab and Brune decided the waitress was just the prettiest thing ever, and we have like a now long-term relationship of sending each other letters throughout that collab. I had to come up with everything on the fly
She
for that character.
she had wolf ears in a tail, and Brune is a big lesbian with a big heart.
Yeah. But yeah, Z, since you're watching the stream, of course, if I do that, I could help you come up with shit for the character if you want. I'm good at coming up with shit. Sometimes. Anyways, so I'm gonna hop over to my other little thingy. Where is it? Oh, here we go. There we go. There's the chat for everyone to see. The chat's been on the whole time though. So which I forgot. But as you can see, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter. We both have our own accounts, obviously, and all the branding is there to see where we're at. We have free content at Tapas on Wattpad. We post daily to Facebook and Twitter, or at least we try to do our best to post daily. The original editions of my it didn't update with the correction, so ignore the fact that I forgot the space there.
Editions or.
so let's just enjoy my typo because that's all I do. But no, so you can support us, by subscribing or following on Tapas or Wattpad, voting and liking our stuff. But leaving comments really helps us out on there. And Tapas has the opportunity to, with enough subscribers that we can make ad revenue off our stories on there. So if you want to help us out in a free way, that's a great way to do it. If you want to go a step further and donate, we both have coffees that you can donate to, and Patreons you can subscribe to. Both of our lowest tiers are $3 each. And if you become a subscriber on there to me or to HippieGhost, then you will receive a free Oracle dice reading. It's pretty nifty. It's really cool. And
it's
then
a lot of fun to do those actually.
Yeah.
Can I?
One second. And then the one last place that you can really help me out with is at the bottom of the Twitch stream. There is the picture that says "Thank you for your support," and you can click on that, and it will take you to my tip panel. So now Dave will tell you a little bit about his Oracle dice reading, and then we'll go into all of his stuff anyway.
Awesome. So yes, the Oracle dice readings are a lot of fun. It's one of my ways of saying thank you to supporters through Patreon and Coffee, but it's also a way for me to get practice with my spirituality and my spiritual practice. I do the Oracle dice readings as a way to kind of help me to connect to my craft. So the Oracle dice are actually made by someone that goes by the name of the Publishing Goblin, who you can find on Tumblr and Twitter. I retweet and reblog a lot of their stuff. They are really awesome content creator, and they interact with their fans a lot. So I definitely want to give a big shout out to them. But the dice themselves are really cool. They have a lot of personality to them. So I have a mat that I got as part of the set, and what I do is I just I ask a question, everything connect to the magic within them. I do like this little ritual myself, and then I let the dice go over the mat, and depending on where they land and everything, I do my reading from there. Most of the time I will ask the dice a question, and then they will tell me something else that's completely unrelated that they decided that I wanted to know instead, or that I needed to know. that tends to happen a lot, or they just like to call, the recipient out on things.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, he did
so
one for me, and I got called out on so much shit. I'm like,
y-
I don't even know if I'm not really a spiritual person, but holy shit, man.
that's the thing. They tend to generally what I've found is that the dice are very good at telling you what you need to hear instead of what you asked for to hear. So that's a big thing. But they're a lot of fun. The other thing too is if the dice do have bad news, then they'll try to warn you about it in a way that you can prepare, which is nice.
Yeah.
Or they could be like my fate die, which I did a reading for one of your patrons, and it was some bad news, and the fate die just was like, you know what? I don't want to have anything to do with this, and it just yeeted itself across the room instead of like having anything to do with the reading. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem. The rest of the dice were just sitting there on the mat going, ooh.
Anyways,
So
so be sure to follow the stream so that way you don't miss out on other streams. So
yes.
okay, so back to the avatars of fun.
Oh, there I am again.
There you are again.
That's
Hello.
fun.
Anyways, so now we are on to HippieGhost time, as I say.
Yay, Dave time.
So, just like me, he has his content, and he is capable. I don't know what
Capable.
Oh my god. So just like me, he has his own, story content, and you should really check it out. His stuff is really, a lot funnier and lighter than mine. Mine is all dark fantasy. So he recently, published, his story Brooders, which is a phenomenal piece. He says it's his best work, but let's face it, all of his work is amazing.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a bit about your Brooders?
All right,
Everyone's
so
favorite little edgelords of Athing.
yeah, so in the land of Athing, there are a group of people that we call brooders, and the reason that they're called brooders is because they like to hang out in the dark corner of taverns and brood at people. Imagine you're, Aragorn type or you're a Witcher type, but they hang out in the dark corner. They're looking really intimidating. Well, these guys aren't good at it, but they try anyway. It's kind of a play on the trope that I saw a lot in groups where, a lot of D&D groups and roleplay groups on forums. It seemed like everybody that tried to introduce a character, their character started out brooding in the corner of the tavern. And like some of these taverns, if it was like a larger RP, I would swear that the tavern must have been like, I want to say like an octagon in shape, but honestly, it had to have had more corners than that even. So like just because there were so many of them, well, rather than go through all the effort of that, I decided that Athing would have its designated brooding corner. So all the brooders gather into the same corner, and they all have to fight for space and everything, and it's really ridiculous. And it actually opens up with one particular brooder that gets there first, and all the other brooders are kind of, push themselves in.
The story is so wholesome too, and it has a great twist finish to it.
Yes, it does. I really don't want to spoil it or anything, but just know that it is a journey of deep discovery. The main character feels a bit like an egg that's ready to crack, and they end up hatching by the end of it, and it's really, really nice.
Yeah, it would have been bad if he cracked.
F. Or ended up in a moose.
You really need to read for that joke, because that's really funny.
The Fireball host corner brawls. Yes, well, yes, Fireball also is not covered under insurance, and the taverns don't really like being on fire, so they try to avoid doing that. That's a good way of getting the guards called on you, especially since magic is illegal in most parts of Athing.
So how
which is
are we
a
liking
whole
the music?
problem.
It's okay, right?
I actually have to, because...
No, it's more of a question for Z. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay. I was just like, we actually have someone listening, so let me bother them.
Gotcha.
Okay, awesome. Thank you,
He digs
Z.
it. Yeah.
And so then, as long as you're finished with Brooders, you were going to talk about your Sigils, right? I mean,
Yes,
it's a
so
pretty
for
interesting thing to talk
brooders and
about.
for everything else, I actually have these sigils that I use for my covers, and the sigils in particular are they're actually based on my spell work that I do. I do sigil magic in addition to my digitination. What? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I went to take a sip of my water and the camera like freaked out, and so my avatar was like
Mine's been doing
vibrating,
that too. I mean, like, oh,
and I
my
looked
my
at
my
the
avatar's
screen
been
and it was just bad timing.
my avatar has been vibrating this entire time, so that's okay. But
You're
like,
just
yeah, mine
excited.
exactly. But whenever I take a sip of anything, I mean, there, you can see.
Avatar goes brr.
There you go. But yes. So the sigils are actually meant to be used for actual magic. So like some of these are things that I will draw out on paper, and then I will do a little ritual, and I will burn the sigil to release the energy that was used to charge it. And the so the sigils that I use for the Athenian tales for the logos and everything are made using the same methods that I use for my witchcraft sigils. The ones that I post on most Sundays are also actual witchcraft sigils. I'm actually doing a little thing right now where it's I'm probably going to end it on Friday, but anybody that submits a sigil in the comment section, or rather a sigil ID in the comment section of one of my daily posts for today, if it gets a certain number of likes, basically I'm going to choose the top 3 sigil ideas, and I'm going to use those for this week's Sigil Sunday. Because I missed this past Sunday since I worked like a 14-hour shift, and that's generally not a good time to be doing Sigil Sunday. So I'm making it up with 3 this week.
That's a lot of sigils and very exciting. Um,
Yes, yes, it is.
so Ari, do you have more on sigils?
Well, the last thing, and this kind of goes back into Brooders itself. So, last week's sigil was actually a call to Brooders because the sigil was about finding our own paths, and that's a major theme in Brooders, as we were just talking about. So, you can actually check that out. It's on my Facebook as well as my Twitter. If you just search Sigil Sunday, you'll see it up there.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, the sigils are really cool, and he always shows them to me, and I feel so special because I get to see them.
Mhm.
But
You get to
anyways,
see them first.
but I also got to read the stories first too because we
That's true,
edit
you
each
did.
other's work.
Yes, we do.
Because it's always good to to make sure that you're not typing some like resistance instead of or reference instead of resistance, because then it might screw up your stream or your life.
Yeah. F.
Anyway, so you talked about Lady Farista before. You got anything else to talk about with her? She
Yeah. So
interested
her
to see
story
her
is
story come up.
so her story is still in progress. I'm almost finished with it. I think I've actually got a couple ideas on how things are going to go down toward for the end of this next part. But the first part of it is scheduled to release on schedule.
Yeah.
So we are all good there. It's about a lovely young researcher with dreams of exploring Afeng's countryside. Her stories serve as a bit of world building for Afeng. Speaking of which, I actually want to talk a little bit about world building.
Go for
Um,
it.
I have an expansive world for my characters, as you know, to have their adventures that spans many kingdoms of various size, cultures, and climates. Most of the stories so far have taken place in the kingdoms of Sevis and Fieldvin, although Farista's does have a little bit in Stockholm as well, but most of the second part of it is going to take place in Fieldvin. But yeah, so those are the 2 kingdoms that we've seen so far. Sevis is one in which magic is illegal, and Fieldvin is one of the few where magic is actually okay. Um, so Sevis has been the location for both finding work and the shopkeeper. Fieldvin is where Brooders takes place. It's not no city was specified or location was specified, but it is in Fieldvin that story takes place. It's in that kingdom, so they could use magic there and it would be okay.
Mhm.
But after Farista's story, we're going to be moving south back towards Sevis, but we're going to be going to its neighbor, which is the Kingdom of Solene, where a tale that is very special to me is going to be beginning. So I'm really excited about that one. Once I finish Farista's, I'm probably going to dive headfirst into that and try to really knock that out because there's a lot that's going to be happening in Solene very, very soon, and we're actually going to be taking a trip into the past to see what's going on there.
Ooh.
Most of our stories have all taken place within the span of like a couple of weeks to a couple of months. They're all very close together as far as time period goes. This time, the story that takes place in Solene, which is going to release after Farista, it starts out about, I think, yeah, about 10 years prior, a little bit more than that. So, most of the characters that you know now will have been kids around that time.
Aw. Are we gonna get to see any of them as kids?
Yes, you will see a couple of them as kids.
Ooh. Any? Do we get
Um,
to know who?
I will say that there will be an appearance from a certain witch captain and her psionic sister.
No way.
Way. That's right.
Uh,
So, yes, Arya and Elra will be making appearances in that story. It is not their story. They will be side characters just like before, and it will be a brief appearance at first, although they will be recurring throughout the overarching story of that one.
awesome. So
Mhm.
speaking of, next content, what will your next content be that's going up?
So, on the off weeks where I'm not posting a major story, I am posting bonus content, and one that was requested by one of my followers on Tapas named Graham Cracker Han is a map of the continent. So I'm going to do that with also a little blurb about the diversity of the Ithwanian kingdoms. And it's just going to be this a little world building thing so that way people have something that they can visualize when they're looking at everything.
Hmm.
I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'll be posting that up this Friday to give people just a little bit of a better look at anything.
Well, that's great. Um, that this is all very exciting. Sorry, I like moved out of frame there for a second. um, but this is all really nice and exciting. So I'm really looking forward to Friday when I get to post my next chapters and which I need to format, but I'll get them formatted. That only takes like a few moments because you know. But you know, that's pretty much all the discussion, and but we still got a little bit of time, and I got a couple announcements anyway. So um, this Friday will be the first stream of Win Souls Game. Win Souls Game is a promotional stream that will either be a co-stream, a co-hosting stream, like like this, except not like this,
Woo!
because we'll actually be playing a game. And
What?
yeah,
Playing games on a game streaming platform? I don't.
oh, I
When did this
know,
happen?
shocking, really. But
Yes.
but yeah.
Very shocking.
So Win Souls Game will be occurring every Friday at 10 p.m.
Mhm.
And this Friday will be a co-stream of it. Us and assuming that Dave doesn't get fucked over at work too badly or something like that.
Even if it's only a little bit, that's okay.
Yeah. Either way,
I'll just come home looking like this.
okay. You poor thing. But so this Friday we'll be streaming for at least an hour of, well, probably more, probably it starts at 10, but it's just to go till we feel good for the night. That sounded weird, but phrasing is everything, right?
Hey.
Anyway, so on this Friday we'll either be streaming Left 4 Dead or Genshin Impact. It depends which one I can figure out first. I mean, I already have Left 4 Dead figured out, so
It's just a matter of if she manages to get Genshin to the point where she can play co-op.
yeah, which I'm just not sure where I'm gonna have the time to play at this moment. So it's looking like Left 4 Dead, but I love zombie games.
Mm-hmm.
At least that zombie game. Uh, and so other content that so yeah, it does. So every Tuesday that we're not doing Storytime Chit-Chat, though, we'll have a When Souls game occurring. Um, and anytime that I am not co-streaming with HippieGhost, I will be solo streaming a game. Or there's the possibility of streaming other games with other friends who have, read and messed with the story and whatnot. So, people who know what I'm talking about when I talk about my content on the stream. But anyways, it'll be there for, it's just going to be for fun. It's not going to really be a discussion like this, but when other viewers come on and stuff, I might, beg a little as a treat.
As a treat.
But, so, anyways, besides that, so that means sorry, what I was trying to say is my stream schedule is up on my channel, and I'll be streaming every Friday at 10 p.m. and every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And so and as for story content, chapter 21 and 22 will drop this Friday for Patreon subscribers. You can also get access to the original editions by donating on Coffee, and I will give you one donation equals 1 month of 1 month
Patreon.
of Patreon, basically. Except
Yeah.
it's not, and you'll you'll need a Google account to access the documents. Otherwise, chapter 20 will become available on Friday, for this Friday, for Tapas and Wattpad. And yeah, that's pretty much my next content dates. And Dave, is there anything you want to add to about your content coming up?
The only thing I have is that, basically it's going to be dependent on how things look with Faristas, but if I get to a point where I feel like Faristas needs to be dropped in multiple parts that are smaller, then I might finish that up. I might do break it up a little bit over a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But most likely it should be just coming out as it currently is scheduled. Just trying not to overwhelm people with content there as well. But first, this is going to be my second longest, I think, since it's a two-parter. At least for now it is. Once the part 2 is dropped, then we take a break from Firsta, but we will actually see her again because that's going to be part of its own little mini-series within the series. But the story that comes after that, which is named The Fell Wren, is actually, that one's going to be a very heavy multi-parter. We're going to be with The Fell Wren for a little while. So depending on... It is. Depending on how long that takes, that might be a case of, I do a few parts at a time and drop one of my short stories in between, so that way people can get a break from, the one big overarching story, since I know that part of the appeal for Aphing is that the short stories can be read in one sitting, and I really like being able to do that.
Yeah. Alright.
At worst, The Fell Wren might even be just dropped standalone.
Sorry, I switched to the wrong thing. So
it's okay.
He said at worst Fell Wren might be standalone. I'm not sure if it picked it up because the different scenes I have set up, I clicked on a solo one by mistake. But anyways,
Rip.
So this is the credit scene, because of course I have a credit scene for my. I only have 3 supporters on Patreon, but they are wonderful. The other people that are part of the Discord that are not patrons are my founding supporters. They are the people that have been with me since the start of my writing or before I was publishing. Z is my newest founding supporter, but he has been such a huge, morale boost at times, and it's been super nice to have that. And so I just wanted to say, once again, for the music for the stream, check out Unwind Station on YouTube. Unwind Station, no copyright music. They have a whole bunch of stuff. They have wonderful things if you want royalty-free, no copyright music for your own streams or whatever. It's there's a few channels on YouTube that have no copyright music and whatnot. You just make sure you credit the people you get it from, just so that way other streamers know where to go and get it, and or game designers, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, make sure you check out our stuff and things. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to add to this.
I think that was it.
Yeah, if you have any questions about the streams, always feel free to send me a message on Facebook or whatever, and I'll try to explain, because I spent hours pulling my teeth out trying to learn these overlays and whatnot, and I if I can help you, I'll try. But I'm only human, and as you could tell, this is not top tier quality yet, but I'm learning. We're getting there. But
you got this.
So thank you so much, Z, for coming and joining us for the live stream, and
for checking out our stuff,
and for reading our content. Thank you to the people who viewed my content these past couple of days. I've gotten so many views and likes and stuff, and some comments that have really been just a huge morale boost for me, because let's face it, it really sucks when your content doesn't get any attention. But I really appreciate anyone that takes the time to like or comment. And we had pretty good days on Tapas today, didn't we? Yeah, I have several people that are really looking forward to the next chapter, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm really excited for what's to come. Anyways, did you have anything else you wanted to add? No, I think that was it. Just thank you again for to everybody for checking us out and for reading our stuff. That helps a lot. Be sure to follow on Twitch so that way you don't miss the next stream, which will be Friday at 10 p.m. for Win Souls game, and we'll be streaming Left 4 Dead or Genshin Impact. And also keep an eye out, because at some point Z is going to send me some lovely fan art, and of course I'm going to display it with pride, like, oh my god, I'm going to stick it on the fridge. Stick it on the fridge! Yeah. I love how that's where we both went. It is, yeah. My house is just going to be like, where did these pictures come from? I'm like, I printed them from my fan. They are. I would love to just, if people start sending me fan art, I will just I will absolutely take a picture of it. I'll post it all over my refrigerator, and if I have to get a bigger refrigerator with Patreon money, then I will do that. Dude, I will make. Right now, I am getting a whole 20 and just post it on there. I don't even care if it's like shitty, smutty stuff. I will put it up there. Do not test me. It reminds me of the freaking VTuber that apparently someone drew smut of their VTube avatar, and they ended up commissioning them for their next icon. Oh, that's I would love to commission artists for things, but I don't have. Z, you are more than welcome to draw Brune if you would like to. That would be just fantastic. I will gladly send you a description of her. You have fan art. I do have fan art. Yes. I made fan art. Yes. I mean, it was your Christmas present too, because I'm poor, but. Oh my god. I appreciate you. But hey, I mean, that took me hours to do. I'm not the best artist. It was an amazing. It's an amazing piece of artwork. But I was really happy with the way Arya came out on that. Oh god, yeah. But yeah, no. See, if you want, I can send you along a good description of Brune if you'd like. I would be more than happy to do that. That's part of why it took me hours, to draw his characters, because I did most of the main cast for him, and I had to look up through every collab that we've written and everyone, and try to cross-reference to make sure they were the most up-to-date descriptions, because boy, some of those characters have changed. And yeah, they have. I mean, with a capital C. Holy shit, Arya and Elra used to just be Arya. They used to. No, they used to be just Elra. But before that, then, sorry, just Elra. God damn it. Sorry, I have a character named Arya. My first story I wrote was the main character was named Arya, which is one that I would love to rewrite and post, probably, maybe. I would love to go on that little adventure with you. but holy shit, there's so much. It's so bad
Mhm.
reading it.
But yeah, I will gladly yeah, I'll gladly send you a description of Brune that is up to date, so you don't have to worry about that.
All right. So once again, thank you all viewers. Follow on Twitch for the next stream, which is Friday at 10. We'll see you then. Otherwise, we're hanging up now. Toodaloo. Love you, dude.